This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and we're here with the second generation Moto Z2 Force. We already did the Z2 Play, which is Moto's mid-range, more affordable phone, and this is their flagship with the Snapdragon 835, 4 gigs of RAM, a QHD AMOLED display, all the fixings you expect on a high-end camera. In fact, a high-end phone rather. In fact, it has 2 camera sensors on the back and 2 lenses. We'll talk about that. Some of the things are still the same. We have the shatter shield display, which is a glass underneath, but a plastic lens, as they call it, on top. Some people like this, some people don't like it. We'll talk a little bit about that too. And of course, we have the Moto mods right here. Probably the neatest thing about the Motos are the mods right here. Very easy, plug and play, different things you can do, from batteries to cameras to projectors to a 360-degree camera. We're going to look at it now. So gone are the days when Moto phones were Droid exclusives on Verizon. This is available on the big 4 major U.S. carriers, at&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, and Verizon. And there's an unlocked GSM model direct from Moto.com as well. Again, the retail price averages around $720, depending on your carrier. at&T will pork you and charge you even more than that. Verizon often has more aggressive pricing and lower pricing, and that works out to be about $30 a month if you're on payment plans. So this is going to be as expensive as any flagship phone. In fact, tough times right now because Samsung is really trying hard to keep their market share, because they've been having some incredible sales on the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus, where you can get those for nearly half price or in BOGO deals. Ouch. So Moto's refresh of the Z2 Force still has that 5.5-inch AMOLED QHD display, so you've got plenty of resolution going on. It still has that shatter shield plastic, and I am not a big fan of it. The idea is if you drop and crack your screen, you'll have this little plastic protective lens or layer on top, so you won't cut your finger on shards of glass. Well, yeah. They used to sell replacement lenses because it does tend to get scratched being plastic for about $30, but it doesn't like they're doing that anymore for the Z2 Force like they did for the original model. CPU is upgraded, and you got your Snapdragon 835 in here. That's as fast as it gets for Android phones right now, and it's a very capable CPU. It's also very power efficient too, which gets into the battery capacity, which strangely has gone down. One of the claims to fame for the Force was its very large battery and its very long battery life. Well, they actually dropped that down. So it's 2730 milliamps right now, which is on the low side a little bit for a 5.5-inch bodied phone. The good news is it still lasts all day with moderate use. If you're super heavy using it, doing the GPSing, playing too much Pokemon Go, you know what I mean, then you're not going to make it the full day. But with moderate to light use, you will. And of course, they have snap-on backs available too. So you've got your Moto mods that have batteries built in on the back, and there are a couple of those to choose from. So there's a way around it, but you got to throw some money at it and increase the thickness of the phone. I don't think many people are going to mind increasing the thickness of the phone that much, because some people have actually complained it's too thin. Did you know a phone could be too thin? When I said that once or twice, you folks laughed at me. But I think compared to the width of it and the way it feels in your hand, it doesn't really fill up your palm or some such thing. I have big hands, I have long fingers, so I'm okay with it. But I know a lot of people at least want to have one of those $20 or $25 style shells on the back. It still has that 16-pin pogo pin connector on the back for Moto mods. It's compatible with all of them. So Moto is pretty much locked into this size and shape for the Moto mods right now if they want to keep that backward compatibility. So the phones are probably not going to vary that much in terms of, well, width and height. The Moto mods are really cool. This is the best job I've ever seen of modular phones yet. Certainly much better than when LG tried their friends. It's easy. You snap them on, you snap them off. It's magnetically held in place, but they do tend to stay in place. The challenge is, other than the style shells, which give you different jazzy back covers, and even the battery packs are not too pricey, some of them, the rest of them get really expensive. And I don't know how many people want to invest $300 in a Hasselblad Moto mod, which we reviewed, by the way, or the new 360-degree camera at $300 a pop. There's even a projector module. The JBL dual speakers on the back, those aren't quite as expensive, but it kind of locks you into the ecosystem. And if you buy a couple of those $300 mods, you're equaling the price of the phone all over again, and again, you're locked into it. So the nice part is they're elegant, they're sleek, they just work, they're plug and play. You don't have to install any software. The bad part is you're locked into an ecosystem, and the exciting ones, a lot of them are expensive. The 15-watt turbocharger is still included, so it charges quickly at least. Another hurt is there's no headphone jack. That's right. You do get a little dongle adapter, USB-C to 3.5 millimeter in the box, and this has not been a popular move when phone manufacturers have done this. And considering the Z2 Play, which is just as thin, manages to still have the headphone jack, it's a little baffling why it had to go here. That means no FM radio is possible either, because those use the headphones as the antenna. The front-facing speaker is pretty darn loud. If you put it up above 50% volume, when you hit about 60 to 80%, it's pretty loud and pretty full. I was impressed by it. That's pretty nice. And you've got NFC, Wi-Fi, 802.11ac with MIMO, AGPS, Bluetooth 4.2 that will become magically Bluetooth 5.0 when Android O is available. The OS is required to support Bluetooth 5, so that's why. You'll get faster data transfer and increased range, so that's pretty nice for you folks who do use Bluetooth. The phone has a front fingerprint scanner. I prefer that location, so you don't have to pick up the phone and put your finger on the back of it. There's 64 gigs of storage inside and a micro SD card slot. It's compatible with cards up to 64 gigs. Again, it's not water resistant. It can't take a bath with you. Sorry about that. It has Moto's usual nano coating, which is sort of like Rain-X for phones, to best describe that. It's running Android 7.1.1, and that's currently the latest version that's shipping and available. That's fine with us. And Motorola's usual tasteful customizations that I really like. They have the best ambient display. Wave your hand over the phone, you can see notifications. I like the little software touches that they do. We have the Sprint version of the phone, and oh my goodness, the carrier bloatware. Sprint really wins the bloatware race to having the most junk on a phone ever. But that is not Moto's fault so much, so we won't blame them. And of course, you can get this on any carrier unlocked, and then it will have no bloatware if you buy the unlocked GSM model. Performance on this, Moto is always good at that. Again, their core OS is pretty lightweight on this, and it performs as well as you would expect a flagship phone to perform. No complaints there. Smooth for games, for anything that you want to do with it. The camera can be a little slow and bulky. The camera software itself, though, it's not that bad. I know some folks have complained about it really lagging. Maybe software updates have improved that from Moto. You have a 5 megapixel camera up front with an f2.2 lens and a flash so you can blind yourself. Deer in the headlights look, always fashionable. The rear dual cameras, they've got 2 cameras going on here, and they're both using Sony IMX 386 sensors. One's a Bayer, which means a color sensor. The other's a monochrome or clear sensor. The lens is not that fast on these at f2.0. We've been seeing f1.8, 1.7 on some, and that does make a difference in low light, especially because this doesn't have particularly large sensor sites. No optical image stabilization either to help you with that low light, so you really can't push the shutter speed up or effectively. So it's not the best in low light. It does pretty well in good lighting, though, although it doesn't handle contrast as well as I would like for a flagship level camera. So while we're talking camera, let's take a look at their latest Moto mod, which is the 360-degree camera. Well, for those of you who are interested in doing that, this is what it looks like. And there's the back, stippled. And this actually becomes a shutter button right here, the Moto logo. It's a movable, clicky little button. We have a little cover here to protect the front and back camera. There you go, and it just clips right on. Nothing else to do, just clip it on, and it's going to say, woohoo, you put it on. And usually it will launch the camera application, though we could leave it up to me. And it's pretty intuitive and easy to use, which is nice. So there we have our 360-degree view. You can pan around, you can do video, and you can do photos. So let's take a look at some examples of that. And everybody's favorite store, Best Buy, now they suggest that you hold it in portrait mode when you use it, so that's why it is. So here we have a video playing, right? That's pretty cool, but look, in real time, there we are, scrolling around in the video that's still playing. Oh, there I am. So that's the 360-degree camera. And for the rest of these will be non-360-degree examples. This is the black and white camera. It's pretty sharp and pretty nice. You can read the writing on the Galaxy S8 screen there just perfectly, and there's a nice gradation of gray to black to white going on there. Now it has a depth of field. It uses both cameras to do that. It's very heavy-handed by default here. So this is the camera that we actually use, a Sony a6300, and it's really gone to town with the depth effect here. Just about the only thing in focus is the camera's lens, which you'd have to have the equivalent of like an f1.2 lens on a SLR to achieve that much depth, and even then it would be dubious. So that's a little, yeah, too much. And for decent light shots, it does a nice enough job. The colors are good there. Now, you can see what I mean by the whiteout here. In this picture of the guitar, I really had to position myself to avoid this happening. Now, looking at it in real life, it wasn't really all that bright, so that's on the camera. But again, once I repositioned myself, and then it was fine. You know, I would not want to be a smartphone manufacturer in 2017. It's just hard because the bar is set so high. Certain brands just have more marketing clout, that sort of thing. So it's tough times for the Moto Z series of phones. I really like them. I do like the Moto Mod kind of design. I like the quality of this product. It's fast and their relatively clean Android experience is enjoyable too. But you've got the Samsung Galaxy S8 family of devices, the Note 8 coming soon. We'll be covering that one, the iPhone 7, 7 Plus, all that sort of stuff. So I think that $720 full retail is going to be a hard sell for this phone because it's not bringing anything to the table that's going to wean you away from those other manufacturers. In fact, it's missing a few things, like not quite as good a camera, not water resistant, you know, but still it's a really pleasant phone to use at the same time. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more cool tech videos, and thumbs up if you like this vid.